The McKinney Lions did not find their first win of the season Friday night against Rockwall, but MHS found out a lot about itself as head coach Jeff Smith joins us now. And Jeff, by the end of this one, because of injury, you were down to your third-team quarterback. You were using a slot receiver at running back with a bum ankle, and despite all of that, this was a game to the very end. What can you say about your team's effort?
Oh, it's just tremendous. The effort, the adversity they face, we talk about that a lot, and I know I've probably mentioned it on this show a few times. And as coaches, we teach that a lot about facing adversity and fighting through. And obviously, with some injuries going into the game and them coming out and getting a 20-6 lead, we were facing some adversity. And I was really proud of the way the kids fought the whole game. They played 4 full quarters, and it didn't go our way, but I was really, really proud of the effort. And I told them after the game, I couldn't be more proud of a bunch of guys and those guys and the way they played.
Let's look back last Friday night at Ron Poe Stadium. It was homecoming for the McKinney Lions against the Rockwall Yellow Jackets as McKinney was riddled by injury. Their quarterback, Robert Somborn, was out because of a concussion. Somborn, the second leading 4A passer in the Metroplex. And Jeff, your offensive identity changed.
It did. Obviously we've thrown the ball a lot early in the year, and we got to run the football a lot more and really focused on that, and we did in practice. And we were pretty successful running the ball, and we were pretty excited about the outcome.
The guy running the football most for you, Red Shannon, the slot receiver who really didn't practice all week with a bad ankle, and Shannon goes for 293 yards on the night with a touchdown.
Well, yeah, he really, I think he surprised us as well, just the way he carried the football. And Red's a guy that plays well in space, but he really saw some nice holes that the offensive line made and was able to get up in them and make some people miss.
Jeff, your team was down 14-0 early. Rockwall was gashing you in the rushing game. How did you make sure you didn't pack it in after being down 14-zip?
Well, we talk about that all week, and obviously we had to make some adjustments. Rockwall's a very good football team, got a big offensive line, and our defensive staff made some good adjustments, and we started playing a lot better.
Yeah, as we see right here, especially in the middle of the field, you really liked what your defensive tackle, Elliot Parkman, as well as linebacker Dalton Harris did.
They played great. Those two guys were definitely leading the defense last Friday night and did a great job.
Brooks Johnston filling in for Somborn. He started at weak side linebacker in week 0, missed the next 4 games because of a concussion. He flashed his wheels on this run, 64 yards, but it was an unfortunate end to the run for Johnston.
It was. Brooks, he's just coming off a concussion himself, and to step in and do what he did was pretty awesome. The thumb that he hurt on that play that you just saw.
And Johnston was out for the rest of the night, but the drive ended with a touchdown. Matt Reynolds, who starts at middle linebacker for you, punches it in.
Yeah, we put a little package in for Matt this week and Elliott to come in and run the ball a little bit down in short yardage, and they did a great job.
This was a one-score game late in the first half, and you come up with a turnover on the ensuing kickoff, another momentum swing.
We talked about that as well. I mean, we've got to have good things happen. We've got to create those turnovers and opportunities to really give us some momentum, and that really helped us a lot.
Here's some more momentum for you. J.J. Johnson picking off Wesley Davis. Your team forced back-to-back turnovers, that fumble, and then the interception. Your defense feeding off that kind of momentum.
And that just gives the offense momentum when the defense does what they did, and J.J. made a really nice play right there.
So senior Buck Shaw enters the game for Johnston, and the game plan is simple. Hand it to number 7, who is able to pile up more yardage.
Absolutely. Buck being our number 3 guy on Friday night, did a really good job managing the offense, but obviously we needed to get the ball to Red and some of the other playmakers.
Yeah, and you end up with a 20-yard field goal just before halftime. It was 21-15 Rockwall at the half. Your defense was able to come out in the third quarter and make Rockwall work. This turned into a game where drives just consumed basically the whole third quarter, and Rockwall would have to settle for a field goal early in the fourth to go up by the score of 24-15. You're really proud of how your defense performed overall.
Absolutely, and that's the difference in a game a lot of times. Whenever you can get a stop and make them kick a field goal instead of them punching it in, and it gave us a chance.
Red Shannon exploding once again. Shannon averaged 16 yards every time he touched the football. He goes for 62 here all the way to the Rockwall 8, nearly 300 yards for a guy who was a game-time decision.
Yeah, it's when the lights turn on, he's usually ready to play, and I'm just really glad that he had a good night. And obviously, it starts with those guys up front. They did a really good job opening up the holes for Red and all the other running backs as well.
And Matt Reynolds finished the drive again to make it 24-22. This was a 2-point game. Rockwall does score a touchdown in the final 2 minutes. Wesley Davis, their quarterback, in from 6 yards out after a Red Shannon fumble at midfield. Yellow Jackets go up 31-22. And really the two-score lead made all the difference, but your defense kept fighting to the very end. Your offense did too. Trying to put a score on the board in the final seconds did not happen, but yeah, again, you're proud of how your team performed overall, and especially your offensive line. These are guys that have been in and out of the lineup really all season long, and yet they were still able to blow open some holes. You rushed for nearly 400 yards as a team, and that matched just about the season total from the first 5 games combined. Once again, you're not interested in moral victories. We understand that. You're 0-6 at this point, but you can definitely build on this kind of performance.
Absolutely. Running the football requires an attitude, and it was something that we really stressed all week long. We knew we were going to have to run the football with Robert out and really focus on that. And not that we don't throughout the year. We work on the run game every day, all throughout the year. And as I told you before, I love to run the football. But it was really nice to see our team take something and adjust with it, and do it well. And so what I take away from it is, hey, you know what, we can throw the ball, but you know what, we can run it too. And we've added some balance, to our offense and to what we do, and I think that's going to make us a better football team.
After the game, you could see it from the broadcast booth. You were fiery, you were passionate as you were addressing your team, really encouraging them and congratulating them for their effort.
I was, and you said it. We're 0-6. We're not into moral victories. At the same time, we want to tell our kids when they do something well that we're proud of them. And I've played, coached and played in lots of games, and honestly, I was very. That ranks right up there to me as a team that really fought through a lot of things and worked hard and had a chance to win. And so we just told them that we cared about them and we appreciated their effort and that they made their parents proud. They made us proud and in our community proud in the way that they played the game.
Nobody's out of playoff contention yet. It is Week 7 here, and a big crosstown showdown looms against McKinney North, and I know you have a lot of respect for what Mike Fetchie does over at North.
Sure. Mike and his staff do a great job, and they beat us last year 14-7 in a real defensive struggle, and we know it's going to be a great game this week, and I know we're both still trying to work for the playoffs, even though we're sitting at, with our record kind of at the 0-3 in district level. But like you said, we're still not out of it, and really honestly at this point our focus is we need to win a football game, and we said that last week, and we're going to do everything we can to win this Friday night.
We brought up the word concussion earlier. That has really hit everybody in McKinney ISD hard. From your team, Somborn this past week, of course Brooks Johnston before him, we mentioned his injury that kept him out 4 games. It seems like it's not a case of it being more prevalent nowadays, but obviously there have been improvements in diagnosis as well as testing. Just wanted to get your thoughts on how that has really affected this game.
Oh, it's affected a lot, and every coach would tell you that. Obviously the state of Texas passed some legislation on steps that we take to take care of kids and diagnose things and going and getting a clearance from a doctor, and we follow those rules, and we got trainers that are trained in the most updated types of symptoms or what's going on, and we have baseline testing in McKinney, which is incredible. That's such a great tool for us to have to take care of our kids, and I think the kids are just bigger, stronger, faster than when I know they were faster than when I played, but at least me. But the game is definitely changing because of it, and we have a way to take care of our kids and watch out for them and get them back, in the right manner. Whereas it used to be, you just kind of got your bell rung and
right.
This and that, and they're back in there. It's definitely a process now, making sure, because after you have one, you can have another one pretty easy. You got to be careful, and it becomes pretty frequent. And you certainly don't want to get in that situation. You want to stop it at one if you've got one.
Jeff, we appreciate the time. Best of luck this week.
Appreciate it.
We will see Jeff Smith and the McKinney Lions this Friday night. Lots on the line as the two crosstown showdown rivals match up at Ron Poe Stadium. It is our McKinney ISD Game of the Week on 97.5 KLAK. We're on the air at 7 Friday night, and the kickoff is at 7:30.